The Eminence of Shadows Season 2 Episode 7 sees us wrap up the Jhon Smith Ark once and for all. We start off the episode with seeing Shadow Garden finally decipher Shadow's notes that he gave to Beta. He basically gave her notes and said that when you finally decipher this, you'll understand my intentions. Alpha and everybody else is pretty broken up. They're in tears of the fact that Shadow has betrayed them and they don't understand why, up until they read the note and decipher, which basically explains why he betrayed them and why he's restarting the financial accounts. Except there's a twist, as there always is. Things are falling right into place where they need to be, but it's not of Shadow's intention for it to be that way. Everybody has their own arc of understanding what's going on, and they all align right back up to the Cult of Diablos. Now that everybody understands why Shadow betrayed them, or from their perspective anyway, they start their plan against the Cult of Diablos and go to where Shadow held the money and take all of the coins that he gathered up for his own means. This is hilarious just due to the complete fact that Shadow comes back to the vault to see that every single dime has disappeared, and he blames none other than the guy who's the head of Cult of Diablos, because who else would be silly enough to go to his vault and take his money? This is because Zeta actually translated the paper wrong and basically put her own intentions into the letter of what Shadow wrote, and that is why Shadow Garden actually took the coins without him even knowing. So, unknowingly, Shadow goes on a rampage and basically beats the absolute living shit out of Getten. And he does it while saving Yukume, making her think that he's doing it for her sake. Something that's an all-going trope in this anime, because Shadow actually just wants the money. But since he doesn't bother explaining what he's actually behind and he speaks in general anime-ish phrases, everybody mixes up his intentions. But we see Shadow literally beat him from dawn until sun up, and I'm pretty sure he beat him to death because he closed his eyes and died in a dramatic manner. But Shadow then goes ahead and heals Yukume's back from another scar that she was given from Getten, and she realizes that Shadow was the one from as a child that healed her back even back then. Yes, that was a pun. And because of that, she's pretty much fallen in love with him and even decides to join the Shadow Garden ranks later on in the episode when Alpha comes with a request to help aid Jhon Smith's goals, or rather Shadow's. This is actually going to be pretty cool, and hey, maybe even we'll get to see Yukume in a Shadow Garden outfit or her proteges. One of them already looks like she has a full-blown Shadow Garden outfit, but hey, it'd be pretty cool to see. All in all, even though Shadow beat the absolute living hell out of this guy, he still never found any gold, because the other guy had no idea that he was looking for gold since, well, he didn't take it. And since, again, Shadow doesn't exactly explain exactly what he's looking for and speaks in general phrases, he finds something else instead, while looking with Delta under the snow in the location that was disclosed to him. We still don't know what it is yet, but I can gather that it's probably something super interesting, and it's going to be the premise for the new season, starting in episode 8. Shadow also decides to take a long break from Shadow Garden and come back next season due to the fact that he thinks that everyone is still mad at him, and that's completely not the case. I mean, he must not have been listening to Alpha at all, because they were pretty willing to actually even follow him down this dark path, and were more upset at the fact that he abandoned them and didn't keep them in the loop. But none of them are upset whatsoever, and they're absolutely overjoyed at the fact that not only did he betray them, but he did it for the sake of them and his goals, so they're still on board with supporting Cid 100%. Now I'm going to talk about a lot of the positives of this episode, which made me laugh a lot. Cid and his whole acting thing that he has, this whole shtick, is just so stupid. Like, Yukume's servants are like, there's no money and we think the Cult of Diablos did it. And he just has this most head-ass laugh, and he just goes into this whole thing, followed up by pure fury at the fact that anybody stole from him. Which anybody would be. If somebody stole my gold, I'd be pissed off too, but not before laughing like a verified head-ass villain first. I also really do appreciate the fact that they make a lot of the story points connect, even though you don't see the full picture initially. It does seem like a lot of the time there's just a lot of ass pull when it comes to the story connecting and how people interpret things, which is basically the comedic part of the story, that this guy wants to be these various different personalities, and he's constructing plans and things behind the scenes, and most of the time things don't go his way, and they simply just connect due to the fact that everybody else around them wants them to. which is basically the Eminence Shadow in a nutshell. But this whole undercover Cid thing has been very, very interesting, and I wish we do get to see more of this personality later, but hey, it's not over yet. We still have a few more episodes to go before the season is over. I will continue the Eminence Shadow as a whole going forward, because to be honest, going from episode to episode is not draining, but tiresome, and it just doesn't have the same amount of effect and fun as watching a series all the way through, having a fresh eyesight on it, and then being able to come on and do the work that I have to do. I still love Eminence as much as anything else, and I wouldn't mind doing manga reviews per se, since, you know, you have to go from chapter to chapter. That's completely different. But covering episode to episode does seem a bit redundant in my case, and it might just be a me thing, but I'm gonna try to sum up basically the rest of the season on episode 11, and then follow up by episode 12 like I did in the past, which I was very excited to do and basically had the better results in the long run anyway. I definitely appreciate you guys for watching all my Eminence Shadow reviews. They're not done. I will still be looking into other animes and doing general series reviews, so you guys can look forward to that. I'm still going to be making the same content, but just general series reviews, because I like doing those more, and it gives me more to work with, and it's not so redundant. I hope you guys definitely do understand. I appreciate you guys for watching this episode of Eminence Shadow, episode 7. It has been
atomic.